Hey Kim, it is Thursday, August 16th, 2026, in the tiny urban garden. I keep putting this off. I know it hasn't been, it's this past weekend, 5 days ago, would have been the next week or weekend, which is when I like to try to do these things, but there's so much happening. I kind of am like, I always feel overwhelmed, like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to talk about everything, or I'm gonna forget about things to talk about because it's spring. So we're gonna start in this corner. We got lots of flowers, lots of food, lots of native plants, all kinds of things happening here. And I do want to say, now you can see there's some cells that don't have anything going on in them, but there's a lot of native plants. I have milk jugs too, but there's plenty of plants that are growing. Look at this big guy right here. I don't know what he is. I have to look at my chart to see who's who. But I got lots of things growing in those containers. And this is the first bed I planted. Is it in, I don't know, the middle of March? Anyway, we're gonna take a look in here. What I'm really excited about, and I looked in here earlier today, is I believe this is a radish. Now I didn't plant radishes in here this spring. What I planted was carrots and Aunt Mae's Bibb lettuce. But in the fall, I planted some radishes, a couple of things in here, and they didn't come up, so that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about this little radish in here. That makes me excited. So I have this netting over here, just to keep any cabbage whites off the lettuce. I don't have anything growing in here. I think that deters the pests. Now let's just take a quick look right here and see if there's, oh, let me go on the edge here. Now I still have beds I have to prep and pots I have to prep, but this is my kale, and I've never grown kale, so I'm very excited because it popped up pretty quickly, and I know it likes cool weather, and I felt like I should have planted it a week earlier, so I'm excited about that. Now I think there's one, there's two, there's three. That one's a little weak. I'm pretty sure I had four. These are walla onions. And I don't know if something came in here and pulled it out. But I'm gonna try to stay focused on this side the food side first, the annuals. Now this, I just, yesterday morning planted radishes and, oh my god, what else did I plant in here? I planted radishes and arugula in the front half, and the back half is going to be cucumbers. So there's nothing happening in here. And then I don't know why I just walked right past this, but here's my cabbages, my new Jersey Wakefield cabbages I started inside, and they're looking pretty good. I do have to go buy some of that clay spray, just in case, but you can see I'm trying to keep everything off of them for now. I mean, I'm sure the butterfly can get through here, the cabbage white, but in between, you can see there's a scallion. There's a scallion. I know they're tiny. I also just grew these this spring. Those scallions are in there. I might throw in a couple marigolds because that's supposed to help keep the cabbage whites and extra pests away. Now here is a very exciting bed. This is where I've always got scallions growing from year to year. So there are always some really nice big scallions in here. But this little section is red velvet lettuce that I planted a little over a week ago. Then I planted right here. Let's see if we can get a better look. I planted spinach. I didn't have a lot of spinach. I forgot to order spinach seeds. So I had a little spinach. And so that's coming up well. Now here in the back, see along those posts, see I have these strings for climbing. Somebody called it, so I don't know what they call that kind of stuff, but down here you've got peas. So I have 1, 2, let's see, let's get back here, see if you can see them. 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's a taller one. You can see through the fence back there by the poles. I don't think you can tell, in between, somebody came in and dug that up. Last night, dug up a little bit. Looks like maybe one of the peas got taken out. This bed will be tomatoes, and not sure if I'm putting anything else in here. Marigolds maybe, mixing in some companion plants with the tomatoes. But I do have scallions growing in here because I just threw extra seeds in here, so I'll pull those out, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Something. And then this is my actual onion bed. That container was just for the extra onions I had growing. The onions that I didn't give you or my brother. So we have walla onions in here, about 8 maybe. And then there's just a little, let's see if we can find it. I don't know if this, sorry. There's a little growth right there. Oops. And there's one more. I don't know if you can see it from here. Right in the center. And that is Swiss chard, which I've never grown before. But my Aunt Jane got me these seeds last year. So, and last year I had my garden planned by the time I got those seeds from her. So I said I'll plant them this year. Now, here's my gooseberry bush. And it's funny, I only look at down here. I've got, look at that. We got, whoops, there's our little flowers. Now, on these lower branches, I'm seeing some flowers. And like over here, oops, let's see. These are the lower branches, but I'm really not seeing flowers popped up on these higher branches. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. Oh, look it. Got some here. And, you know, last year I didn't have any because somebody came around and hacked this all to pieces. So I'm hoping, I was hoping I'd get some fruit, and I do have some flowers. This doesn't seem like a lot, but I did, I trimmed it. I go, oh, hi, sorry, I didn't mean to upset you, little mourning dove. So here you can see how it's growing out nicely. I trimmed him a lot up in the front here because it was just coming onto this pathway, and then it's just hard to get in. And I know that you're not, you know, you're supposed to trim it, like you're supposed to only have some main branches, a few main branches here. It's not supposed to be as crazy as it was. So have some hope there for the gooseberries this year. Now here's my rhubarb coming in nicely. We've had a lot of rain, as you know. I've got my chives here, my big chive pile. And then I've got my blueberries, and you can see, oh, look at this little grouping right here. Come on. Here we go. Get in there. Let's get, come on now. I don't know why this, okay. It was just focused, there we go. Oh, you son of a gun. Blueberry flowers. So we will have blueberries this year. Last year I had very little flowers. Still not a lot of flowers on this, but it's some. Oh, come on. Get into focus, you guys. Now I have some nice leaf growth on this one, but I don't have flowers, and I think this was the one that actually had some some flowers on it last year. So I fertilized, I trimmed it, I don't know. All right, so I still have food on the other side, but since we're right here, I'm gonna keep going. Now, I did have the rabbits. I guess there's multiple rabbits. Hector said he's seen multiple rabbits. I've just seen one. But the rabbits have been coming in and eating a lot. So I used to have, even just a couple days ago, I used to have a golden Alexander right here, and it's gone. These geraniums, wild geraniums, they popped up one day and then they were gone. So I put up this fence, and then after the fence was up for 2 days, they popped up real nice. I don't know what to do about the golden Alexander though. It's gone. So mixed in here are strawberries, wild strawberries, common violet, the Illinois state flower, and bee balm, scarlet bee balm. Here is my summer phlox. These will definitely, I'm going to thin them out pretty quickly here so I can do it easily. You can see more phlox there. Those will be trimmed out. I don't need those. Those are white. These, which are a little too close to the front for my comfort, but these ones are purple. So they will stay. I will try to keep them trimmed. You can see I do have some flowers on my wild strawberries. Those are the first flowers to pop. It's usually the geraniums, but as I said, the geraniums got decimated there for a moment. And I have bigger ones, but you can see my bluebells. My bluebells also not as big this year. You can see some beautiful ones over there. So I don't know if that's also the rabbits, but here is a nice grouping of mountain mint. And then I have some mountain mint spreading. So I think I'm gonna dig that out and give that, I don't know, I think to the community garden, to Avil Grows. And then you can see here I've got a nice stem coming up there on the columbine, arugula canadensis. And I've got another columbine over there. Now you can see the blue flag iris right in front of it. This grew up last year, real nice, but it didn't bloom. That was my first year, my first full year with it. So I'm hoping for some blooms. And then here, I did put this fence around. This fence isn't gonna stay like this. I'll probably have to refence it, but it also seemed like my Ohio spiderwort was kind of like getting nibbled at the edges. Now, I'm not even sure, because I'd have to go look, but you know, I have obviously lots of plants growing in here, and I'm like, crap, I don't know exactly what's what and when it's supposed to come up. So I'm thinking, I don't even know if the rabbits are gonna decimate stuff. But, oh Lordy, look at this. This is a tree. Well, that's gotta go. There we go. That's coming out. And then here's some of the blooms of the violets. So I have what's blooming right now. I have the violets. I have the bluebells, I have the wild strawberries, and then over here, I'll just make a quick jump, I have wild geraniums. See, this one's also, I fenced it. And I know I have more, but I didn't fence anymore. I have some on the other side of the yard. I'm not really sure. I'm just letting that live its life and see what happens. Now, here is a nice golden Alexander. And here's a lovely stem that's going to be the flower of the arugula canadensis. Now this guy right here, I think this is the coreopsis. I bought it last year. I actually bought it. It's filled in a little space here that had gotten kind of empty. And let me come in here. Here's some more golden Alexander. That is the good plant for the black swallowtail, the native black swallowtail. And then you know what's funny? I don't know what this is. This is something else growing right here. And I'm trying to think if I planted it. Like in this little spot right here, this is where I'll have the butterfly milkweed. But they don't pop up until later. And I know that's not what this is. I'm trying to remember what else I planted here, but I can't think of it. Here's my second Ohio spiderwort here. And this one already had a fence around. Well, I didn't have this fencing here. I had this basket here. See this basket? And so I don't know if that kept the rabbits out of this section. I do feel like the rabbits haven't really gotten into this section. But further back, let's see. Let me try to get a good... Well, you can also see back here, that's what's going to bloom real soon, is the wild hyacinth. Now, but I believe this is the native to California. Again, I say this every year. I got tricked at the store. I think they thought it was native too. It's native to North America. There is a different one that's native here, but I don't think it's this one. So here is New England aster. Okay. And this is, I will trim this guy soon, but it's April, so I'm leaving a lot of the stems up. This is blue stem goldenrod. And if I get around here, you can see down here, oopsie, sorry little plant. Down there is the wild blue indigo, or blue wild indigo as they say, but oh wow. I don't know if you can tell, but it's foggy as heck. What strange weather we're having. Blue wild indigo. So that's a lot of the stuff that's growing in here that I can identify, that's popped up already. I think there's some things, oh, see this? Let's see. See, this was getting nibbled at, and that's something different. Damn it. I don't know what it is. I can't tell from that what it is. I do have cardinal flower. I planted a lot of cardinal flower and cardinal flower seed back here, but I didn't notice anything popping up that would look different. And I don't know if that starts popping up a little later. But, oh, hello. There was a female red-winged blackbird. You can hear them singing. Okay, so over here, I did not, oh look, I put up my new hummingbird feeder on the 14th. I like to have it up by the 15th. So here's my wild climbing rose. I probably should have trimmed it more. But they say you're only supposed to trim it every 3 years, but that's crazy because there was a lot of stuff going on here and I had to trim it. I do have a lot of the violets here, but also I have, hey, come into focus, I have the bee balm. Now, a whole bunch of this lily of the valley popped up. I have been pulling it. And look, it's like a whole field of them this year. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, there used to be a bunch of geraniums here. You can see there's just a couple there, and there was some here, and I don't even see any here. So I don't know. 5-6 years, rabbits haven't touched it. Now they're all over it. You can see some of this grass has been messed with. It's because I just dug out a bunch of raspberries that popped up in the grass. I'm going to transplant those to the food forest at Ava Grows Gardens. But if you look here, now I'm pretty sure this is common milkweed. And it was growing in the middle of the grass. That's this big, like there was a really long root. And there were 3 separate, see there's this guy, these guys, and then this one, all attached to the same root. So I don't know if what's gonna happen, but you can see, of course, my raspberry field here that is growing nicely. I trimmed it last month, got rid of all the dead canes. Let's see what else is in here though, because I do have, oh here, look at this. Oh, this is fern, and oh no, I'm not gonna remember the name of it. It's a common fern that's native here. But these are some of the plants that I had brought with me from my first house. Hello, look at this one's unfurling. And I've got one back here too, behind the raspberries. Love these guys. Oh, and look, there's another one. Look at that. Okay. So, yeah, and look at this all the way over to here. Got my raspberries. Woo! It's a lot of raspberries. Then, over here, you can see all the raspberries I pulled out of the grass. And then I have, tucked in here is one of my Pennsylvania sedges. This has a little, oh, he has a little bit of a flower on him. My other one that was, sorry, it was a big, see how big and healthy this grass is? I think there's actually two grasses next to each other. I mean sedges. But I don't know if you can tell here. There's these stems, these thicker stems, and they had the flowers on the top. And then guess what? Rabbits ate them, I guess. So they didn't get to flower, so I don't get seeds. No. Okay. I was gonna do this last, but I am gonna go in the front as well to show you what's going on there. This is gonna be a long video, sorry, it's 20 minutes already. Here's my curled parsley. I'm growing in more curled parsley and dill because I have to be ready for the swallowtail season. And back here, there's some chives that I was growing in a pot, and then these are some chives. I planted these guys late, so they're very tiny. Whereas these are all scallions that are decent size. And then this is a curled parsley that I kept alive since last year. I had to cut it a couple times. But I always like to try to get, you know, I've spent so much money the last few years on parsley and dill for the eastern swallowtails. Because they just don't stop laying their eggs on them. And if you don't cover these or put these somewhere, then more lay eggs on there. And then, I mean, I guess I could just let them stay outside and do whatever, but there's not enough for them to eat. So I don't like that. So then I go and I buy more, and I'm right down the street from Gethsemane, you know. That's a lot of money. I spend a lot of money on that. So, you know, I'm gonna turn my front yard right in front of the house into a native bed. Oh, before I show you that, I should say here's the very first native plant I ever bought, Clematis virginiana. And it grows like crazy over here. This is a very shady spot. Here's some more wild hyacinth. I've got, this is a different kind of violet. Oh look, prairie violet. I don't know why it's growing in the shade. I have it in a shady spot here. I really should probably move it. Got the Penstemon digitalis coming up. I've got, I don't know if these are wood phlox. There's some kind of phlox there. And I don't know what this guy is. Oh, I'm gonna have to pull this because I don't want this growing here. This is the clematis. More Penstemon. Holy mackerel. Look at this guy. He's like trying to live a whole life here. That's the clematis. I don't want all that clematis here. But I threw a bunch of leaves on the lawn in like January. Oh, sorry, mourning dove. And I'm gonna make a path here, have shorter natives on this side, and then I'm gonna cut this yew down. It's not native and it's not useful. I'm gonna put a water fountain here. And then I just planted a few days ago, I bought these coral berry shrubs. I bought two. There's one here and there's one further back there. I'm hoping they will do well. It says part shade is okay, but they'll probably get a little more than part shade over here. And then I got this little stick, it's so tiny, this free dogwood, white dogwood tree that's also native. God knows how long that's gonna take to get big. But then I also have my New Jersey tea plants here. They're just starting to get some flowers. Oh, hi, Robin. And then got my other one. This one I got from Gethsemane, and this, I think it's this one, and then this little one that got decimated by the rabbits last year are the ones I got from the Chicago Bird Alliance native plant sale. And oh, I don't know if you probably can't tell. It's hard to tell with this, but it is so foggy. It's really cool. And I know some aren't native, some are, but we have some lovely flowering trees here. The one tree I do know is native, for sure, is a serviceberry. My neighbors next door have a couple serviceberries. Here and over there. Oh, are you kidding me? That is a yellow-bellied sapsucker. I think he might have been in my arborvitae. What? Okay, that was really cool. Wow. That's amazing. Okay, sorry, this is super long, but I'm gonna take you inside. Don't judge, my tomatoes are very leggy, but they just popped up and I've been so busy. I meant like, I'm gonna do it tonight after this video. I gotta eat dinner first though. But I have, I gotta transplant them into bigger pots. I was trying that seed snail method and I just was not happy with it because you have to wrap stuff in plastic and I do not want, it's thinner plastic. I don't want my plants growing in that. Okay, so let me turn the light on here. There we go. All right, I've got a few trees here also from the Arbor Day Foundation. A couple of them are native. I'm trying to figure out what to do about that. A few more of them are. So we'll be doing what we can with it. Okay, I got like 3 or 4 different peppers growing in here. I'm not sure what was in the front here that didn't take, but I mean, it will probably. It's just taking longer than the others. Look at my tomatoes, they're so leggy. I also have, I think, 3 different tomato species here. Yeah, I will plant those tonight, transplant them. Then I grew marigolds, so I keep repotting them in here, like putting new seeds in and seeing how many I can get. I do know they like the warmer weather. I might just start some in a pot outside next week. Oh, and I gotta start spraying my my overwintered swallowtails. And then I got some moss in there and a scallion. I don't know why I felt like there was more happening in here, but I did transplant a lot of stuff already. These guys won't go out for another month because the weather, they can't deal with this weather. But that's the whole view of all the stuff that's been growing, that's been planted, that's been direct seeded, that's been transplanted. And then here's my few little of my arugula microgreens left. Come on. What? I don't know why this guy's having such trouble focusing. Maybe he has ADD. All right, girl. That's it for today. I'll talk to you later. See you later. Ciao.